With inflation making everything more expensive, you might be feeling the pinch in ways you didn't expect. But what if I told you there are easy, practical steps you can take right now to reduce your monthly expenses and protect your finances from these rising costs? Stick with me, and I'll walk you through how to cut your monthly expenses during inflation and give you some insight into how a gold IRA can help safeguard your wealth in these uncertain times. Trust me, you're going to want to hear this. Before we dive in, if you're serious about protecting your wealth in the next couple of weeks, I highly recommend you click the first link in the description. It's a free guide to understanding why thousands of Americans are turning to gold IRAs to preserve their savings during inflation. It's especially useful if you're in a position where you've got 100K plus in your IRA or 401K, or even if you're looking to protect $5 or more in savings. Now let's get into how you can reduce those pesky monthly expenses. First, you'll want to review every subscription service you have. Streaming services, gym memberships, magazine subscriptions, these can add up quickly. Take a moment and go through your bank statements or use an app like Truebill to identify any recurring charges you've forgotten about. You'd be surprised how much you can save just by canceling a few things that you no longer use. Next, don't forget about your groceries. When inflation strikes, the cost of food can skyrocket. But there's a trick that most people don't think about. Buy in bulk. Whether it's pantry staples like rice, beans, or pasta, or even cleaning supplies, buying in bulk can help you save significantly over time. And don't shy away from generic brands. Most of the time, you're paying for the name rather than the quality. It's a small change, but it adds up over months. Also, take a look at your utilities. If you're not on the best rate plan for electricity, gas, or even your cell phone, you're throwing money away. Do a quick comparison between providers, especially when your contract comes up for renewal. Switching to energy-efficient light bulbs or reducing heating and cooling usage by a couple of degrees can save you hundreds over the course of a year. If you're still carrying debt, especially high-interest credit card debt, it's time to rethink your strategy. Consider consolidating or refinancing options that offer lower interest rates. Paying off high-interest debt should be a priority. If you're not careful, those monthly payments can consume a huge chunk of your budget. But here's where things get really interesting. While these steps will help in the short term, have you thought about how your long-term wealth is being affected by inflation? This is where a gold IRA can really set you apart from most people. With inflation eroding the value of paper currency, investing in a gold IRA is a proven way to protect your wealth. Gold holds its value and even appreciates during times of financial instability. So while you're cutting your expenses, it's also important to consider how to protect what you already have. If you've got 100K plus in your IRA or 401K, or even 5M plus in savings, this is a move you should definitely explore. The guide in the description will walk you through how you can diversify into a gold IRA so you don't have to rely solely on paper assets that are shrinking in value every day. Finally, let's talk about your lifestyle. Are there ways you can reduce discretionary spending, dining out, vacations, even impulse buys? These are all areas where you can exercise restraint without sacrificing your quality of life. Consider cooking at home more often and planning your vacations during off-peak times to save on flights and hotels. These may seem like small changes, but when inflation is rising, these shifts can make a big difference. To wrap up, reducing your monthly expenses during inflation doesn't require drastic changes. By identifying unnecessary subscriptions, being mindful of your grocery spending, comparing utility rates, and tackling high-interest debt, you can make a real impact. And while you're at it, don't forget that a gold IRA is the best strategy for safeguarding your wealth in times like these. If you want to dive deeper into how gold IRAs can protect your retirement savings, click that link in the description. It's a free, no-obligation guide specifically designed for American retirees with 100K or more in their IRA or 401K, or even 5M plus in savings. Take action now to protect your wealth during these challenging times.